In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the front brake pads in this 2015 Kia Ceed. Let's get it into the garage. So I don't anticipate that you folks at home will have a ramp, so first of all you're going to need to jack the car up on its jacking points and get axle stands underneath it and chock the back wheels as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the wheel off. The 21mm socket. I hate this with new cars, you know that? It drives me mental. Brute force and ignorance. So, with the wheel off, what we are going to do is we're going to hold this lad here with a 17mm spanner, and we're going to get a 14mm socket on this, and we're going to undo this bolt, which will allow us to pivot the caliper down away from the wheel, away from the disc even. So, if you have an impact gun, you can use that obviously. If you're doing a lot of work on cars, even at home, I strongly suggest investing in one of these. It makes such a difference. It makes a lot of jobs easier. So let's buzz this out. Okay. And we'll undo this bolt. And this allows us to pivot our caliper down. We may end up just needing to undo the bottom one as well. It'd probably make life a bit easier doing that. Okay, I've taken the bottom bolt out as well, and then that'll allow us to take our caliper out, and what we'll do is just stick it up here, out of the way. You can throw a cable tie around the top there, but for the time being it should be alright. So there is our anti-rattle plate. We'll just get a little hammer and just knock them off. Okay, we just use a drift. Oh, these are not great. General rule is you shouldn't have to beat the pads off the disc. They should be able to come off fairly freely. There's one out. And there we go. So what I do now at this point is take the sliding pins out and just put a little bit of fresh grease on them. These are actually pretty good, but while we're here, it's cheap insurance, so to speak. So a little bit of copper grease, slap it back in, and then put a rubber boot over. Now is the time, if you find a rubber boot split, to replace them, because if you've gotten away without having these seized, then you're doing all right. Obviously, if you've just crusty grease or whatever on them, clean them before you put new grease on, but these are actually in very good order, to be honest with you. So that has definitely made this job an awful lot easier. Now, they are free to move. So now what we can do is we need to get a brake caliper wind back tool, and we're going to push the piston back into the caliper, get our new discs, get our new pads onto the disc, and start refitting everything, and we'll do the other side. Now, one thing I do here is I like to peel back the rubber seal and just spray a little bit of light oil in there, WD-40 being absolutely fine, and then that will help the piston to slide back without galling the seal. So now what we can do is we'll get our caliper wind back tool. Look, there's ways of jerry-rigging this and not having to use a caliper wind back tool, but given the fact that I have it, I'm going to use it. So pop that in, and to be honest with you, any motor factors that sell them and they're not big money. So if you don't have it and you're planning on doing brake discs, what I would suggest you do is go and buy one. Pads, not discs. You know what I mean. So now you see that WD-40 is really helping that piston to move back into the caliper, and we're going to go right the way back with it. And that's it. So now, take this off, and we'll get our new pads and get them ready to go on. So one thing I find with some new pads is they have a little casting web on the ears that sit into the slides. Now what I actually like to do is just get a little file and actually remove them so that that's a nice smooth surface, and you can put a little bit of copper grease just on these, like a tiny bit, and that will allow everything to slide freely. So I'm just going to get a file to tidy up those corners there, and then these will slide in properly. Now you'll see I'm putting the tiniest little dab of copper grease just on these lugs, and they are now smooth, and we can put our pads in place. So And then that goes in nicely like that, see? So that's all good. And we'll put the one in the other side as well. Okay. The owner of the car was just asking me what allows the pads to come off the disc when you haven't got your foot on the brake. Well, in actual fact, what happens is there isn't actually any springs. It's just that you're letting off the hydraulic pressure, and when you haven't got any pressure on these pads, they're not clamping down on the disc, so the disc is free to slide past. But really what you're doing is you're just letting off the hydraulic pressure that you would be putting on it with your foot. Okay, so the last thing to do before we refit the caliper is to put this anti-rattle plate on. So there's a little dowel on the back of the pad, which that slots onto it like so, and now we can slip our disc back into, or our caliper back into place. Jesus, my terminology today has gone to pot. Okay, so that is going to go like that, and we can put our 14mm bolt in place here. I realise now that this anti-rattle plate is supposed to go on the inner side of the pad, which actually means that the pads are wrong here as well, because the dowels don't line up. These are actually both outer pads, and I've got two inner pads on the other side. So I need to take the other caliper off and put that right. Look, everybody makes mistakes, folks. It's a case of putting it right, so we're going to put it right now. I'll get the caliper off and swap the pads around and get that sorted out. So this is the way the pads are supposed to be. The ones with the dowels slightly closer together go on the outside, and the one with the anti-rattle plate goes on the inside like that. And we are going to fit our caliper back to the correct position now. And that is that. So I'm going to just throw a ratchet on that and just make sure that they are fully tight. And then we'll go on to the other side and get that done. It's exactly the same process. So you basically just repeat the same thing. And just remember, when you get into your car and you start driving it first, expect that your brakes are not going to be at their fullest of health. So you just need to allow that extra bit of braking distance. So just take precautions in that. Make sure everything is tight and that you refer to any maintenance manuals if and when you need to. And yeah, it's a pretty straightforward job. Hope you got a bit from this. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you go, and I will catch you in a future video. Thanks very much for watching.